I'm the type of person that even if I didn't do anything wrong, or so I would think that I didn't do anything wrong, I would still apologize just for my part. Because we all have a part to play depending on how we took some things. Because sometimes we can actually say, you know what, I didn't even set enough boundaries. Assalamu alaikum. Peace is your coach, Coach Nyla, one of the co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. So has there ever been a time where you felt that you could have handled a situation a little bit better? You start thinking about it later and realize that, I could have said this, or I could have walked away from it at this point in time. And if I could do it all over again, this is what it would look like. Yeah, I've had that happen to me a couple of times. We're human. As I stated in a number of videos, people are people, and that includes us. People are people. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how the way you handle your situation can determine your level of sophistication. Because sometimes we are not as sophisticated as we should be when it comes to handling our situations. And I'm going to even talk about that in polygyny. Even though the way we handle things can be for any situation, but I'm going to talk about polygyny because polygyny, in this point in time, can be a very touchy subject for people, especially for women. And whether you are a first wife or whether you're an incoming wife, as I stated before in a number of videos, I don't really play the verses, that it can be a touchy subject because you have a first wife that can feel a particular way about their husbands thinking about marrying again or marrying again without telling them, or the list can go on and on and on about what wives can have an issue with for good reason. You can also have issues on the other end, and where you are married to someone because you want to be married to someone and you know that it's permissible for you to marry this person. And you have to be secret. Not saying you have to be, but this is certain situations is what I'm saying, where we have these different issues where people are secret, people are extremely private. And I'm not talking about the privacy where we're like, look, we don't want everybody in our business. We are all good. We are growing. Everybody knows about each other. We have witnesses, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about that type of private. I'm talking about so private that it's like you don't get your rights because I need to make sure this stuff is right over here type of thing. And that can be handled in a particular way too. You can have a person that can go hot mess about feeling like they are a booty call or a side chick or whatever the case may be, and they're actually the wife. And feeling like that someone else is controlling their marriage, so they have no control over their own marriage. So those are things as well. So you can have a level of an air of not having sophistication in a way that can be handled, because you can go hot mess on that way too. You can have a first wife going hot mess on that issue of that the husband is marrying again and wanting to keep the kids away. You can have a first wife having an issue with, for a good reason, a husband not talking to her and leaving her out of the loop. Not saying that he has to get her permission, but leaving her out of the loop of him desiring to marry again, or marrying again, taking that action and marrying again, or keeping something a secret from her for years and years and years, or for months and months and months, or whatever the case may be. However, the way we handle our situations determine the level of sophistication. And when I say that, I understand that things can cause problems. I understand that emotions can run hot. I understand that there's not always where you can't just say, oh, well, I shouldn't be mad. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't be mad, that they shouldn't be upset, that they shouldn't have feelings, that they shouldn't feel their feelings. But it's one way or one thing to feel your feelings, and it's another to explode it all over the place. Because when we tend to explode all over the place, we blow up everything in its path. And it takes a long time to build it back up, whether it's from our end or whether it's from the other end, whether it's from our husband's part or whether it's from our part. It takes a long time to build up something we laid waste to, even if we can feel that we were justified. Because there are ways to handle situations. I don't care how ugly the situation is. We as women can be very poised, very collected, and very sophisticated in how we handle trouble and drama and problems. And those are the ones that are looked at a higher level, at a high esteem. Because people are like, wow, I want to know how they did that. I want to be able to do that. That's what I mean. People look at it as at a high esteem. And it's a lot easier to clean up any mess that happened in the process. And another thing is when someone wrongs you and you are sophisticated in the way you handle it, you don't have to apologize for what you've done because you did not do anything wrong. I always talk about apologizing for your part.
Pardon the interruption. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that you could thrive better in the community that's more supportive? Now, I already know the answer to that. But did you know that Outstanding Personal Relationships actually has a community that is supportive and where we really hang out a lot? It has a number of areas and things like, for example, I deal with the men in the Kings and Men section where we discuss a number of different men issues, whether it's polygyny related, parenting related, whatever it may be. This is where we communicate and connect.
And as an introvert, I love the idea of an online community. So we have that. And to be able to speak with like-minded people, speak with other wives, wives, whether you're an incoming wife, whether you're a first wife, a wife, period, in general, you only practicing monogamy, whatever the case may be, to be able to be in a community with people who understand what you're going through, understand any type of issues you have, and also being in a place where you have support from others, where it's not all over social media for everybody else to see.
Yes, and it is a safe space. So if you guys want to see us or if you want to connect with us, come to our community.
Indeed. And like they said, it's private. All right. So you don't have to worry about your stuff being all over the place or all on social media, try to find the comments and go scroll. We have the subjects. We have all this type of stuff. Just go to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com. Look on the top of the page. Click on community. We look forward to seeing you there. Back to the video.
I say you don't have to apologize. I'm the type of person that even if I didn't do anything wrong, or so I would think that I didn't do anything wrong, I would still apologize just for my part, because we all have a part to play depending on how we took some things. Because sometimes we can actually say, you know what, I didn't even set enough boundaries. Maybe that was my problem. And maybe that was my challenge. I didn't set enough boundaries. Maybe I didn't speak up. And I'm not saying speak up as in being loud, being boisterous, being crass. No, speaking up, saying, you know what? This is how I felt about this situation, or this is how this could have been handled better, or if we were to talk, this is how we could have possibly came to a conclusion or a solution. But that's being sophisticated. But it's not always easy. I'm speaking from experience. It's not always easy. We have to take a step back, because sometimes those moments can get heated. Sometimes those emotions can get high and heavy and strong. But when it comes down to it, we have to say, you know what, how I'm going to handle this situation. Am I only looking through a straw, or am I seeing the big picture? Now, if we are looking through a straw, we can only see what we want to see, just that little piece. And it could be so much other stuff going on that we totally missed. But if we say, you know what, I'm going to take a step back and try to look at this situation in a totally different way, this way, that way, inside, outside, backward, forward. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but the work is worth it. Because even if you feel like you have to walk away from something and you've done all of that, you've done the work, you made the dua, or you made the prayers, or you got into counseling or the therapy sessions and those different things like that. And it's like, you know what? It's just still not. And you are genuinely trying to make things better, meaning that you're improving on yourself so you can improve in your marriage. And it's just not it. At least you can walk away saying that, you know what? I handled this with sophistication. I handled this in a way that will not blow back on me, that I would not sit back and have to figure out, like, did I do everything I could? Did I do something wrong? Sometimes we'll do that anyway to ourselves. We may think that we've done something wrong. We may think that we messed up somewhere. And there are times where we may have done some things that we could have totally done better. That's life. But being able to admit that and work on that and get better, that shows a level of sophistication. It shows a high level of sophistication. So if we're handling our situations with drama, with manipulation, with guilt, with just anything that can possibly be something that is evil intentions, regardless, like I said, regardless of what a person has done to you, regardless of what you felt your husband has done to you, if we handling it, and it's one way, you can call something out and be sophisticated about calling it out. You can be very poised in allowing a person to know what your boundaries are, or what you were upset with, or what you weren't pleased with. And that's just speaking and communicating from adult to adult. Everybody's not going to always do everything that makes us happy or that pleases us. But if it's something that's so traumatic or something that's so bothersome that we need to speak on it, and we need to let it be known that it was a problem, then we have to understand how to communicate that in a way that shows sophistication, not crassness, not immaturity. So whenever you come to a situation in your life, in your marriage, that may not be an easy conversation to have, sometimes it deals with polygyny and things that happen within a polygynous marriage, which is jealousies, insecurities, and a lot of those different things that can happen in any other marriage, but definitely the stakes are a little higher when it's polygyny. And you find yourself at that crossroads, or you find yourself at that junction where you have to have this conversation. Think about your level of sophistication that you want to have when you're handling the situation. So, hope you guys got some good information from this video. If you like this video and feel that someone can benefit from this video, definitely share it, because sharing is caring. And make sure you are visiting us on our social media platforms, but better yet, make sure, if you haven't already, to join our community. That's where you will get access to your coaches every single day. And it's a private community where we don't have to worry about a lot of things that can cause copyright strikes and people to shut down your account for 30 days or plus, or whatever. You guys know, So make sure you head over to the community if you haven't already and join. The information is in the description. And thank you guys for making it this far in the video. And if you have made it this far in this video, put in the comments sophistication. All right, sophistication. And you can spell it how it's spelled, or you can spell it how you want to spell it. But make sure you put sophistication in the comments because, yeah, that PH thing is a whole nother level. If you want to put an F there, go ahead and put an F. Do what you like, all right? Anyway, make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. It's your coach, Coach Nyla. Inshallah, God willing, I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.